Welcome to the Fear and Greed Afternoon Report for Wednesday, the 23rd of November, 2022. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200's strong run continued today, with the bourse closing up 0.7% to 7,232 points. Now, that's its highest level since early June. Utilities, industrials and energy stocks led the way today, while tech stocks were the laggards. Among the large caps, diversified miner South32 jumped more than 2%. It was the best performer. Wesfarmers and Macquarie Group both jumped 1.7%. But generally, most of the large caps actually did pretty well today. WiseTech Global was easily the worst performer, tumbling 6.5%. The tech market leader held its AGM today. It reiterated its earnings guidance. Then it was sold off. Not quite sure what's going on there. Story number 2, plenty of corporate news around today. Qantas said it expects a pre-tax profit during the current half year of up to $1.45 billion. That's because people are travelling, notwithstanding the ridiculously high airfares around at the moment. Mall owner SCA Property said higher interest rates were set to hit earnings. Real estate investment trusts like SCA typically underperform as rates rise because they're highly leveraged. SCA's share price fell 0.7% today. Chalice Mining, it jumped 6.5% after flagging material potential at its 100% owned Julimar nickel copper platinum mine in Western Australia. PolyNovo dropped 9% after completing a $30 million share placement, and shares in Star Entertainment lost nearly 6% following its trading update yesterday. Story number 3, the electric vehicle industry has received a massive boost after the government did a deal with crossbenchers to exempt low and zero emission cars from fringe benefit tax. It could save buyers tens of thousands of dollars. The Greens and Independent Senator David Pocock backed the Labor EV tax break after negotiations tweaked the scheme to include plug-in electric and internal combustion engine hybrids until April 1, 2025. In short, the deal, which will pass through Senate before the end of next week, will make EVs more affordable for households and businesses. Of course, it's part of the government's plan to boost electric vehicle adoption rates in Australia, which are very low by world standards. Story number 4, the rush to bricks and mortar retailing has convinced Japanese clothing giant Uniqlo to expand in Australia, opening 5 stores over 7 weeks. It will have 31 outlets across the nation by the beginning of next month. The group began in Australia in 2014. It got hit hard by the COVID pandemic, along with other retailers, but it now believes shop fronts are back in vogue. It will open new stores in Perth, Adelaide, Melbourne, and 2 in Sydney. One of the success stories for Uniqlo so far has been tennis great Roger Federer, who's almost halfway through a 10-year marketing deal with the retailer. Thus far, despite rising interest rates and higher cost of living expenses, retailers have reported little slowdown in consumer spending, Uniqlo being one of those retailers, so it's happy to open up more stores. And finally, story number 5. Wall Street closed at its highest level in 2.5 months this morning, with electronics giant Best Buy's forecasting strong sales ahead of the Christmas holiday season, which of course starts in 2 days' time with the Black Friday sales. Best Buy's share price jumped 13%, and both the broad-based S&P 500 and tech-heavy Nasdaq closed up 1.4%. Also helping were energy stocks after Saudi Arabia said OPEC was sticking with its proposed output cuts. That's it for the afternoon report for Wednesday, the 23rd of November, 2022. Don't forget to hit follow on the podcast and find Fear and Greed on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. Join Michael Thompson and I tomorrow morning for the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed, the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.